Yes, people, we're back. 12th man's back, and it's Real Madrid versus Arsenal. The second leg, the preview part two. And I've got my boy Dave in the stream, Dave in the house. This time it's remote. We're not going to get kicked out the Emirates anymore,
Yeah,
my bro. We're
no more
here,
kicked
and
out.
no one can move us on, bro. How are you, man?
Good, mate, good. I've just flown back to Madrid, ready for this return leg in the Bernabeu, and I'm excited, mate. I'm excited because I just want to see every single Real Madrid fan's face when we get knocked out of the Champions League. And people
Wow.
don't realize that people think, oh, remontada's coming along. Oh, Real Madrid are going to do some magical voodoo stuff in the second leg. And guess what? None of that is going to happen. So I'm excited just for the ambiance outside the Bernabeu. That's all I can just be looking at tomorrow because I'm outside the stadium tomorrow. I'm ready. I'm live and kicking. And these people are going to get it coming, honestly.
Bruv, you get a lot of stick from Real Madrid fans, man. They
Mm-hmm.
think you're negative. They think you're toxic. They say that it's not good. The rant you had outside the Emirates was over the top, as it
Yeah,
seemed, blah, blah, blah. But, man, you're just saying how it is. It was the disappointing first leg, and we're going to come into reasons as to why and how you're feeling
absolutely.
going into this second leg, man. Before we do that, make sure you're following Dave. His link to his channel is literally in the title. All you got to do is
Thank
click.
you.
Let's get him up to 10K. End the stream, Dave. I'm sure everyone will be tuning in tomorrow night, my bro, and
Absolutely.
be interesting to see what happens, man. But look, I've got to be real with you. That first leg was an absolute madness for me. I saw
Yeah.
you after the game. We chatted very briefly. There was a lot happening. A lot of people were coming up to me, you, and everybody after the
Mate,
game.
you hugged me for about 5 minutes, mate.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know what to say to you, if I'm honest, bro. It was like it was. I've known you a long time. It was joy for me, not so much joy for you. You called it, bro. You called you when you thought you were going to lose. You didn't quite call that result in terms of the 3-0, but you weren't confident. On the preview we did previously, you said it was going to be difficult. You felt that it was going to be a kind of opportunity for Arsenal. And what the hell happened to Real Madrid, man? Talk to me.
Let me tell you something, and this is what's been happening all season for Real Madrid because a lot of Arsenal fans thought it was probably going to be a more difficult game because of the weight that Real Madrid's name carries with it, especially in the Champions League. And we know about Real Madrid's history in the Champions League, 15 times winners, and how we're playing, regardless of how we're playing, we have a tendency to get the result regardless. Now, this season has been completely different. People say, oh, but last season is exactly the same thing. Why are you slating this season when last season we played exactly the same and we won the Champions League and La Liga? Well, let me tell you why. Because this season, the Champions League format has been different. We saw Real Madrid's weaknesses in the Champions League format in the group stages already. Then what happened in La Liga is that Barcelona are just that team that is much, much better than Real Madrid at the current present time. So for La Liga and for the Champions League, we are doing completely differently than what we were doing last season in terms of how we're playing and clutch players not coming up with clutch goals at certain times. Last year, we had Bellingham. Last year, we had Vinny coming up clutch. Now we're relying more on the focal point, which is Mbappe, to come up clutch this time. So it's a different story this year. And that first leg showed exactly why we have extreme weaknesses in certain positions. These extreme weaknesses being the actual organization of the defense, how the midfield press, how every single player operates on that field, how every single player passes to each other, how quickly we rotate the ball, how quickly we can transition from defense to attack. If you see us, like last week, we are slow, we are lethargic. I showed you after our first match preview, Real Madrid for 5 minutes, and you instantly just wanted to switch off because we were that boring to watch.
Sideways and backwards, bro.
That's it. It's a sideways backwards thing, and we are absolutely horrendous to watch. We are probably one of the worst teams in Europe to watch, period. That's why we are so bad this season. People say, oh, but you're only X amount of points behind Barcelona. Well, who cares how many points we are behind Barcelona? If we're not in the lead, what is the point in the first place? You understand? So I just cannot stand Real Madrid this season. We have a manager that is very, very stubborn, who likes to consistently play Vasquez. And then when he plays Valverde against the bigger teams, then we are lacking in midfield because Valverde is not there. Why didn't we go in the winter transfer window and get a proven right back? Why? Because Ancelotti's a yes man. He's a yes man to Perez. He doesn't know how to say to Perez, look, we need a right back. Go and get me one. Why not? So, this is what Real Madrid do as a team. We are just running now as a business. That's it. We wait until the summer, we get the transfers, we get the t-shirt sales, and that is it. This season, we are winning nada, nothing. Copa del Rey out, Champions League out, La Liga done. It's finished. So that first leg and those 2 free kicks, people say, oh, but they were magical free kicks. Oh, they were just out of the blue free kicks. So what? Arsenal were on the front foot for, let's say, about 90% of the game. I saw Saka consistently overlapping, consistently destroying Alaba. I saw Martinelli destroying Valverde on countless times. This is Valverde, by the way. And I saw the midfield of Partey, Rice, especially bossing it, driving through the midfield and creating a nuisance for the defense. So this is Real Madrid in a nutshell. We are problematic. We don't know how to operate on the pitch correctly. And that all boils down to one person. Because we have world-class players. And that one person is Carlo Ancelotti.
You really don't like him, do you? You really don't like him.
I don't like Carlo Ancelotti for how he's operating as a manager this season. Yes, he has won us countless trophies. I understand that. And respect to him. I will always respect Carlo Ancelotti for what he's done as a manager in the game. You put respect on Carlo Ancelotti's name. However, when his time has run out, it's run out. And this is the season to call quits.
Wow. Interesting, man. Interesting. Listen, I'm a big fan of Carlo Ancelotti. I think his CV speaks for itself, right? But sometimes when you watch games week in, week out, I'm like me. A lot of people from the outset say Mikel Arteta's doing such a good job at Arsenal. I watch it week in, week out. And similarly to you, sideways and backwards is pretty much how we've been. I think in our first preview, we even said this is going to be the sideways and backwards competition. And who's going to do it worse is going to end up losing. But I never saw 3-0, Dave, if I'm honest with you. Who stood out for you in the Arsenal lineup last week? Who was the ones that shone out for you the most?
People obviously would point at Rice for his free kicks. I honestly, I think Rice done an amazing job, especially with the 2 set pieces. But Saka was sometimes, on some occasions, unplayable in that regard. And then you had the obviously Saliba was really good, very calm-headed, very level-headed. And just in general, Timber was good. I think overall, across the whole pitch, your defense was solid and the midfield was very solid between Partey and Rice. Very, very solid. And then, obviously, Saka. Saka was really incredible. Marino, for all that people slate him, he was dropping into positions, creating a false 9 there, creating that 4 in midfield where you could control the ball. And you just outrun us in midfield because Marino dropped deep. And he was just literally a focal point at midfield to receive the ball and just spread it out to the wings, either to Martinelli or Saka. And Saka consistently destroyed Alaba. I told you many times. He consistently destroyed Alaba. Alaba's not the person there to operate as a left-back when Saka is coming at you. And now Camavinga's out. Tchouameni's back in for this game. We'll see a different side to Real Madrid in terms of how we defend because Tchouameni's better defensively. But I don't think we'll have enough. We get an early goal, maybe, but I don't think we'll have enough to score. I mean, the last time you conceded 3, was it West Ham? Away, I think it is.
Yeah, it was actually Luton 4-3.
Yeah, 4-3, yeah.
Yeah, and then in the Carabao Cup, we obviously, we lost to West Ham as well.
Yeah. So, honestly, definitely Saka. I think Saka is... And people laughed at me, Dan, when I put him ahead of Vinny. Yeah. What did Vinny do? What did Vinny do last game? Please, someone tell me, what did Vinny do?
He was poor, man.
Zero effect on the game. What did Saka do as soon as he instantly picked up the ball? Driving at Alaba. He knew he was going to destroy him. He knew he was going to get by him. And certain passes across the box, some of the passes he's made were so dangerous. If it wasn't for Courtois to just palm it away, I could see Marino, I could see Martinelli on the end of those. Rice literally joining the attack several occasions. So, honestly, a very, very determined side, Arsenal. Now, for me, when I look at the midfield, Tchouaméni, Ceballos made a cameo appearance last 5 minutes of the game against Alaves on the weekend. So I'm sure Ceballos is going to be back for this game to control the midfield. I think we'll have better control of the midfield when Ceballos is there. So Ceballos, Tchouaméni, and Bellingham probably going to be in the midfield this game.
Well, let me put up the team that I'm assuming it will be. Please correct me, though, if I'm wrong, because I'm no expert on Madrid like you are, bruv. But
yeah,
I've put kind of a little tactics pad together. Courtois, Valverde, Rodrigo, Asensio, Garcia, Tchouaméni, Bellingham, Ceballos, Rodrigo, Vini, and Mbappe. Any of those positions I've got wrong, bruv?
That will be the correct lineup, yeah. I guarantee that will be the correct lineup, honestly.
Okay, interesting.
I think Garcia will be put in for Alaba because Alaba's lack of pace to combat Saka. I think Saka will be still too much for Fran Garcia, honestly. He'll be too much for Fran Garcia, yeah. And then obviously Asensio and Rudiger switch over because obviously Asensio plays on the right, Rudiger plays on the left.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's my bad.
yeah, and then that's it really. And that is literally...
Will Carlo Ancelotti do this though? Or is there a chance?
I think Ceballos will drop a little bit deeper. So you have Tchouaméni and Ceballos literally drop it just a little bit there, exactly like that, yeah. And then like Bellingham literally more in a box-to-box where you see him overlapping Mbappe, but also tracking back to help out Tchouaméni. So, yeah, it's going to be...
There's no way that Carlo will play Modric or Vasquez, no?
No, I don't think he'll play... do you know why he won't play... Modric? Also, I've got to tell you, Arsenal's midfield, the way they press is too much for Modric. I have to say, at his age, it's going to be too much for him. We need runners. We need players that can really do a job there. And I think Ceballos is good. We're lucky he's back for this game. We're lucky. Very lucky. He's back.
It's mad how good he's been as well. He's been really good for you, hasn't he?
He's been really good. Probably one of our best players from from the start of the season towards when he got injured. Absolutely one of our best players. Really good on the ball, confident, doesn't give it up that easily, and knows how to defend as well. So, Ceballos is great. Ceballos has been good this season, and I've been heavily critical of Ceballos. I've called him cebollas, which means onion in Spanish, previous years. But, yeah, I think Ceballos is such a great player and will really help us out this game. Look, 3-0, hypothetically, I don't think we're going to go through. But hypothetically, the way that we need to play, we just need to consistently attack Arsenal. That's how we need to play. We need to use the stadium. We need to use the Bernabeu, the ambiance, the stadium effect, how the Bernabeu is with 80,000 fans literally screaming and shouting and singing songs and so forth or whatever. We need to use that as a 12th man. No pun intended.
Nah, love that, man. Love that.
Yeah.
Look, I've got to be real with you as well, bro. Like, I will be very nervous if you get an early goal. In the first 10, 15, I think you need to score. And I think what that will do is it will shake us. It would be nervy anyway. That will absolutely shake us. And if it shakes us to the point that it wobbles, we've just got to keep our heads because you've got to score 4 to go through, 3 to take it to extras. I don't say that you can't score 3 goals. But what should Arsenal do here? Should we sit everything behind the back and kind of say, come break us through? Should we give it a go? Should we try and score? How do you see this one, bro? What should Arsenal do?
I think Arsenal should score. For them to just solidify it, because Real Madrid, do you know what? The way that we're playing, I can't even remember last time we scored 3 goals. If anybody in the chat can help me out. In a home game. The last distinct memory, I think, was against... I can't
Did you
remember
do the 4-4 against Sociedad the other day?
Yeah, but Sociedad, yeah, 4, yeah, but that was a horrible game, honestly. 4-4 won't help us, will it? So it's a bit mad. So honestly, I just need to see Real Madrid have a bit more something about them and try and be direct. But Arsenal, do you know when we overcommit players forward? I know Fran Garcia, I know Valverde is going to overlap a lot because we need to get goals. So you just need to have Saka and Martinelli just waiting on the counter. Play a good defensive. How many shots did we have last time? 3?
Yeah, I think so.
In the whole match? And
Yeah, well,
two of them were Mbappe. One of them was saved by Raya.
Yeah.
So, do we have a hope in hell? No. If you defend well and you just counter us, then yeah, Arsenal will go through. Arsenal will go through. The only way we can go through, we need a goal in the very first 15, 20 minutes. Only way. But I've seen Real Madrid score bloody 3 goals in literally like 15 minutes before. So, honestly, I don't even know, man. I don't even know these days with Ancelotti. But what I do say is this, and I have been critical of the team. When we've played, and there's a perfect example of this, we were playing Atletico Madrid at home, and they scored first in the league. And we were going for them in the second half. We were consistently just peppering their defense, yeah? That's how we need to play. We need to consistently pepper your defense and give us more opportunities to score a lot of goals, yeah? But I hate the way that the players reacted after that match. And saying, oh, there's always a chance at the Bernabeu. You've just lost 3-0. Just hold your head in shame. Say nothing, and then just let the result in the second leg speak for itself. I hated the way that Ancelotti is literally pulling the eyebrows. Like, bro, you should be visibly upset at that result. You just got absolutely smacked up 3-0. Marino scored an absolute beauty of a shot. And Declan Rice, like 2 amazing, beautiful free kicks. And you have your eyebrows like this, like on the side. Like you've got some certain level of confidence. The confidence levels of Madrid fans, it shocks me. I have to be honest, it shocks me. The confidence levels. Like Raul on DR Sports saying Remontada's coming. Like, are you absolutely high?
He's so cocky, man.
Like, so cocky that Real Madrid are going to come back. Bro, like, we've lost against worse teams than Arsenal this year. Yeah? And people don't realize that. We've lost against worse teams than Arsenal. And for him to be so cocky and say that we're going to come up against Arsenal in the Bernabeu and score a certain amount of goals with a level of confidence that you think is going to happen regardless, that is absolutely happening. If it happens, boy, oh boy, I will be in shock. Let me be honest, yeah?
Wow.
Because this will be Real Madrid's chance and Carlo Ancelotti's chance to prove me wrong. And if they do, then so be it. Amazing. If they prove me wrong, then I will hold my head in shame and say, Ancelotti, honestly, I can never doubt you again after this performance. This is Real Madrid's toughest game to turn around against a very good Arsenal side in, I would say, the last 10 years, the most toughest game that we played in the Champions League. This one to go through.
Man, it's going to be unbelievable. I mean, Cecil, me and James yesterday were talking about the comebacks and the unbelievable comebacks that has already happened in the Champions League. And would this one be right up there? I think it would be. Obviously, the PSG Barcelona one was mentioned. Obviously, the final against Liverpool AC Milan in Istanbul. There was obviously the Spurs Ajax one, to be fair. That was a pretty incredible one, to be fair. But look, let's bring up the Arsenal lineup. Before we do that, people, there's 500 in here. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you smash subscribe. Make sure you do exactly the same for Dave's channel. In the stream, Dave, it's in the title. And yes, for those asking, it is X is Dave. Do you like being called that? X is Dave. I mean, I don't know if that's really something you want to be.
Obviously, when Expressions done the original End of Stream, Dave, it was against Middlesbrough in, I think it was the FA Cup. It was extra time. It was 118 minutes, 0-0, and
wow.
I was sitting backstage, and essentially he said end the stream, Dave, and I didn't end it. So he kept on saying it, until until I ended it. So essentially, and yes, it is. Yes, I did work with Expressions before as producer, and obviously rants and a few others as well on YouTube. So yeah, I
There
am
we
that
go,
guy.
people. There we go. That is you now. That is you.
In front of the camera now. In front of the camera.
You're in the camera now, and you're doing a great
Yeah.
job, man. Your channel's flying, bro. Look, let me ask you, because this was a team that was out last time. If Partey is fit, which we're hearing potentially he is, I expect this to be exactly the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Midfield last time we were able to dominate. Obviously, Thomas Partey I thought was outstanding. Declan Rice, we know what he did in particular with his free kicks, but as his all-round game. But Ødegaard kind of ghosted a bit again, bro. I know your midfield weren't great with Modric and Bellingham and co, but actually when
He
I look
wasn't
at
non-existent.
now,
Yeah.
he was pretty poor. So what do you make of the key areas in this Arsenal side for you to try and nullify, bruv?
Yeah, so I want to try and nullify Rice, because when he's overlapping, obviously, Ødegaard, and he's getting into the mixer and the attack, it's tough to contain, because you have obviously Saka there, you have Marino there already, and Marino's dropping deeper, so you see Rice always going into it and trying to get into the final third of the pitch, which is obviously great for him, because I think Rice is great as a box-to-box player. I think he can do a box-to-box play and duty really well. So I think Martinelli is definitely a danger. I think Valverde needs to contain him a bit more. Marino's not so much a danger, but he gets into positions that's very awkward to defend. I don't know what it is about him. You understand? So his goal ratio this season is actually surprisingly decent. From all the fans' perspective, not liking him as in that position, his goals ratio is actually quite decent. So I think Marino is not so much of a target to defend, but he does get into awkward positions. So just need to contain him. And then Saka is 100% the guy you need to contain. Because Saka last game, honestly, sensational. Some of the stuff he did was sensational. Always going on the byline, always cutting in. And he is, obviously, him and Fran Garcia is going to be the main key battle here. Timber and Vinny, I think Timber will pocket Vinny. Timber's too strong, too physically strong for Vinny. I think. Very quick as well. You saw Timber,
good, Dave.
You saw Timber racing Mbappe last time, and he caught him up. It's like, Timber's quick. You don't realize how actually quick he is. Like, he's got explosive pace. Saliba, Kivior, he did all right. He made some errors in the first 10 minutes, Kivior, of the match, which allowed Mbappe to just drive forward with the ball a little bit. So Kivior, he needs to release the ball quicker, but if he does that, then he'd be all right. Lewis-Skelly was absolutely outstanding that game. Outstanding. I didn't see Rodrigo the whole match. I don't know where he was. I actually don't know where Rodrigo was, honestly. Probably in Lewis-Skelly pocket. That's where he was. So Lewis-Skelly, the way that he consistently pressed, the way that he didn't look fazed by the occasion playing Real Madrid. Just a young guy, just going in there, willing to get stuck in. That's what he needed. It's not about passion merchant thing. It's all about just doing your duty as a left back. And he's probably one of the best players on the pitch, I think, Lewis-Skelly. With Rice and Saka, Martinelli was good. But Martinelli, I think, will have a more difficult chance this time. I think Valverde will be a bit more on it. But Saka, Saka against Fran Garcia, honestly, I just pray for Fran Garcia. Pray for Fran Garcia, people. Let's see what happens.
Pray for Fran Garcia. Look, he had a good time against Alaba, trust me. But I believe Garcia coming in could be different. I'm looking at Martin Ødegaard. There's a lot of people in the chat saying, why do you rate him? He's rubbish. Look, I don't think Martin Ødegaard is a rubbish footballer. I've never rated him in the kind of...
It's good when you have space. When he has space.
Yeah, exactly. When you allow him and you put everything around him, he's a wonderful player to watch, right? Technically gifted. I don't put him in the same bracket as a Cesc or a Xanti or a Rosicky or maybe even a Haleb or a Nasri, right? Or certainly an Ozil. When you look at what he's done at the club, he's miles behind all of those. And I grew up on Bergkamp and I grew up on Merce, so I've seen all the best. He needs a good game tonight. I said he needed a good game in the first leg. This is where it matters for me. This is where the captain and the leadership comes, because this is going to be a hostile environment. This is going to need everybody at their best, and this is going to need the leaders and the role models. Right? He's a captain. He's got to have a performance like that. And if I'm honest with you, Dave, I don't have the faith that he's going to. Now, I'm actually concerned in the key battles in some of them. I think that Vinny and Mbappe and Rodrigo, they're not going to be as bad as they were, in my opinion. I think they're going to play very well because they're going to have to.
Timber's going to contain Vinny, I think, though. I think he will contain Vinny.
Yeah. Yeah, and do you know what? I hope the pair of them do, because Lewis-Skelly and Timber were outstanding, in my opinion, the other night. Right?
Mbappe is going to be very direct today. I can see him making a lot of key runs in behind Saliba and Kivior that could make or break the game, because I think the way that Arsenal, when they played in the very first leg, obviously they did a decent mid-block, but also with good pressing as well. They pressed well, Arsenal, in the very first leg, I think, and didn't allow Real Madrid to control the ball for too long, because when we just start controlling and then passing around, then it just gets very stealth for the other team. Sometimes they have lapse in concentration, but you press well, you defended well, and honestly, I think Real Madrid, they just need to be direct. They need to just no more than 2-3 passes into Mbappe's feet. Just forget about the sideways stuff. Just go direct, straight through. And maybe that's where Modric actually fits into this. I would like to see Brahim Diaz actually play, because Brahim Diaz is a player that can actually, and I said this in the preview last time, I think Brahim Diaz is a player that can unlock a certain low block where it's just camped on the edge of the box, and he can deliver a pass, maybe behind, or do something that will create an opportunity for us to score. So I would like to see Brahim Diaz feature maybe sometime in the game if we're not just getting there. But this is Real Madrid, man. Anything can happen, mate. 17 minutes and we could score fucking 3 goals. You know what I mean?
Bro,
so it's crazy.
Mad. Like, for me, if that goal goes in against us tomorrow night, I am going to be squeaky bum time already, because I've seen
the first one from Real Madrid.
The first goal, bruv. The first goal is massive. And if it's
momentum.
For us, yeah, it's for us, I think it's done. Like, game over if we score. But if you score first, and say it's like 1-0 when we've got like 20 minutes gone, I am not going to be. I'm going to be nervous, because I know that at 2-0, that ain't going to be good for us.
I don't know why you would just do a low block and just sit defending for the whole game. I don't understand.
I don't know that we will.
I don't think you will. I think Saka will be ready to counter very quickly if you do get the ball in a certain area. If you just sit back and allow Real Madrid to come onto you, it's going to be problematic for the whole 90 minutes. You're going to have a 90-minute session of just Real Madrid. But let me be honest. This is another occasion. When Real Madrid went against Atletico Madrid, I think Arsenal defensively, I don't know if you're better than Atletico Madrid, but you're similar, where you can set up and just, that's it. Real Madrid did not score. We barely had an open chance, against Atletico Madrid when they defended against us. But it's the Bernabeu. It's going to be different. So who knows? I don't even know, man. I don't even know now. I'm hoping, but hope can disappear if you score first. But if we score first, that game is fully on, I got to say.
Oh, yeah. 100%, bro. 100. Listen, people, there's nearly 700 of you in there. Do me a favor, hit the like button, because you've only just hit over 100. Let's make sure we can get this up to 350 likes at least by now, people. And if you're not there, that means you haven't hit the like button. If you hit the like button, legends, if you hit subscribe as well, make sure you're following Dave and doing exactly the same thing. End the stream, Dave. His channel is in the title. All you got to do is click. It will take you straight there, and you can subscribe to him as well. Look, Dave, I've got to be real with you. The reason I would be nervous is because of where the place is. Now, apparently you're shutting the roof, you're making it hostile. Do you think there's going to be more going through it? A lot of people say that it's like all this corruption and you're going to be talking to your UEFA and referees and all that. Do you believe all that stuff? Is that actually going on at Madrid, bro?
It's hard for me to say, but I think Real Madrid do get preferential treatment when it comes to football matches. I don't know what it is about Real Madrid. We do get, I have to be honest here, I see some decisions going for Real Madrid that really sway the match sometimes. I don't know what it is. Is it voodoo? Is it anything at all? But Real Madrid, they just need to go into the match. And do you know what? I'm telling you right now, the shutting of the roof, the stadium going mad, I could see Vinny diving, getting a penalty. I got to say, Vinny loves to dive, this guy. He is just the master of the dark arts. He loves it. Yeah? So, sorry to say this against my own team, but it's true. It's true. So, I think also they're closing the roof maybe because it may be raining later in Madrid. So, tomorrow in Madrid. So, we may not.
What about this, Dave? from Boston. Rice cooks better with the lid on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true as well. Yeah, and honestly, the stadium tomorrow is going to be rocking. It is. It is. It is. But and you can have a little section of the crowd or Arsenal fans. I already seen some Arsenal fans on the metro already. They were loud. They were very brash, very loud, like taking up the whole space in the metro. But honestly, that stadium is a different ball game. It is a different ball game, honestly. And people say, "Oh, but the Bernabeu is this and that." It's not really this and that. It's not really this and that. We just lost literally to Valencia in our own backyard. It's not this and that. Our results have been poor. Alaves last weekend didn't fill me with confidence. Honestly, the way we're playing and Ancelotti, nothing is happening. I got to be honest. Nothing is happening. No matter how much stadium noise we make, no matter how much UEFA can help us or whatever, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Trust me on this one.
Okay, well, listen, I've got to, before I come to a close, ask you your prediction. I will give you my prediction first, and then I will ask you for yours. I've been quite consistent with this one, and I've been wrong many, many times. I think we're going to lose the game, but not the tie. I think Real Madrid win this 2-1, but I think Arsenal then go through 4-2 on aggregate. What are you telling me, bro?
I think because of the occasion, I hope Real Madrid win. But this is not about hope. This is about actual using your brains and actually thinking of a scoreline. I honestly think that Arsenal will beat us 1-0.
Wow. You think you'll struggle to score?
I think we'll struggle to score. Yeah, because against low block teams, we are shambolic. We are
you think we'll be tight? It will be tight.
It will be shambolic, honestly. Trust me on this one, guys. Watch Arsenal score a goal and then Real Madrid's heads just drop completely. Yeah? Real Madrid will not, even if we win by a matter of chance, 1-0 or 2-1 or whatever, we will not win the overall tie. It will either be a 4-0 to Arsenal and we won't score against them. And we saw it in the very first leg. The first leg is a barometer of how we played against Arsenal. And that is how we've been playing all season.
Wow.
Is it mind-blowing to think that? No. We've been playing like that every single game throughout the season, bar Manchester City at home. And look where Manchester City are this season. They are a shambles of a team. You understand? So the way that we played against Man City at home, I think that was just a mask because how bad Manchester City were at that time. So, honestly, if Real Madrid prove me wrong, please do so.
Wow.
And I will just literally say, Ancelotti, you know what? I'm not going to doubt you anymore. Just do your thing this season. Yeah? But in my heart of hearts, I think that Real Madrid will lose this game as well. And I said it talking to the fans outside the Emirates. I said it talking to the fans. I said Arsenal are going to beat us once again in the Bernabeu because last time we played a club on this level at home, we got absolutely peppered. And do you know who that was? Barcelona.
Wow.
Not on that level. I think Barcelona are just a tad bit better than Arsenal. Maybe not defensively, but just in attack, they are just ruthless. When we played a team of that ilk and this level in La Liga, we lost 4-0. That's how we got absolutely battered by Barcelona at home. And since that result, I've always called for Ancelotti to go. I do not want to see that man managing another match at Real Madrid anymore. And this match is going to be the closing statement for me. It's going to be the closing statement for me. Watch outside the stadium. Watch out the stadium because I know we're not going through. So watch outside the stadium. And as a realistic Real Madrid fan, I tell you what, 99% of Real Madrid fans think there's going to be a remontada. We're going to bloody score 4-5-0 against Arsenal. Are you clinically insane? Liverpool couldn't even score that many goals against Arsenal. You understand? Wow. Who has scored against Arsenal this season that many goals?
Well,
you have a great defense. If it was Gabriel, we would have been curtains already, but Kivior's maybe giving us a bit of a chance.
Big up to Kyle B in the chat. He says Madrid have won 13 games out of their 52 by 3 goals margin this season. Wow.
This guy, okay, so Kyle, yeah, let me tell you, doesn't matter about results, on paper, whatever, when we're playing relegation fodder in La Liga. Did you just see the match against Alaves? Did you see the match against Valencia? Did you see the match against Espanyol? How can you think we're going to beat Arsenal by 3 or more goals? Who in their right mind thinks that? It's dumb. It's clinically insane to think that. There's no way on hell that we're going to beat Arsenal by 3 goals. It's done.
I think Kyle was actually the other way. I think Kyle was meaning. He's on I think he's with you. I think he's saying it's only 13 times. So he's kind of saying it's kind of hard to do, basically. So look, I'm with you. It's hard to do, but we've seen madder things happen in this competition, bruv. And Arsenal,
this guy Paul Burke in the chat, so 3 Champions Leagues. Yeah, and this season, and people don't watch Real Madrid enough, do they? I've watched Real Madrid every single game. Gunnar can confirm with you that we've watched Real Madrid every single game this season. We have been poor every single game this flipping season. That's it. Finished. Because we faced relegate. But any team that we faced in the top 7 in La Liga, Bilbao, Villarreal, we just scraped by. Betis, cooked. Bilbao, cooked. Barcelona, cooked. Couldn't even get a win in La Liga against Atletico Madrid. Am I the only one that sees this? Am I the only one that sees this? The only one, every single content creator on YouTube who is a Real Madrid fan thinks that there's going to be a comeback. Like, people are dumb. Like, they're dumb.
Jamie's asking in the super chat, just to close, because I've got to close. Does Arsenal, under pressure, not give you hope?
Does Arsenal, under pressure, not give you hope, Dave? What, under pressure? What? Because you know what? If it was 1-0, then you'll be completely under pressure. 3-0. If you think you're under pressure on 3-0, then honestly, like, people say that Arsenal are going to bottle it again, or they're going to bottle this. If you bottle it this time, God help Arsenal. Honestly, if you lose this game and you do not go through in this tie, it's done. But Real Madrid, honestly, we need a miracle. An absolute miracle. We lost to Lille. We lost to AC Milan. Like, this season, like AC Milan at home, 3-1. Come on, bro. Like, this is mad. We lost 3-1 at home to AC Milan. AC Milan.
We're going to find out.
They're absolutely shocking, mate. Lille as well. Like, how we getting beaten by these absolute second-rate teams in Europe is absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. Manchester City gave us a game in the first leg. We came by, we bloody scraped through 3-2. Anyway, whatever, man. You know, do you know what? One more thing as well. I know you're going to close, yeah? But one more thing. The attitude, and I've got to say it, the reason we lost to the game in the first half, in the first leg, was the attitude of the players. I saw when Mbappe had that shot against Raya and they were in a corner, it was Mbappe, Rodrigo, and I think Vinny laughing with each other. Laughing in a Champions League game. Brother, they should be dropped just for that. I swear down. Yeah. How can you laugh at all? Like, laughing and just joking during a match. Like, this is madness. You think they just underestimated Arsenal too much. They thought it's Arsenal. Yeah. Look what happened. Done, guys. Done. We're finished. It's done. This match tomorrow, watch us get battered again. I tell you right now.
Wow. Bro, I hope you're all right. And I hope that I'm wrong and we don't lose 2-1. But obviously, I don't care if I'm wrong, if I am right, to be fair, because we'll still go through. As long as we go through, I do not care. Dave, absolute pleasure. Always a legend
worries,
having
man.
you on, man. We'll do something after the game, I'm sure, as well. And I'll speak to you during it and after
Yeah.
it. And make sure you're following End the Stream Dave, people. Make sure you're getting him up to 10K. He should be there already by now. So make sure that you guys help him get there. I'm sure you'll follow his content in and around this game for sure. This is going to send you over to the Football Terrace, which is where me, LB, and Terry will be now. So make sure you come say hello over there. Come and raid the chat. 12th man sent me. Dan Potts sent me. And I will see you over there right now. Take care, people. We're out of here.
Bye.